So here's what you get. Frozen person on a 25-degree day with wind chills in the teens. And we got to dump tanks and move tomorrow to a different spot until we can get the beast fixed. So here's what I get to do is clean off the deck. Yep, nothing like using a nice scraper and a dirt shovel. Break some of the ice up. So hopefully my goal is to try to get the snow off so at least the ice will melt, because I can't really put the camper on there with the ice on there because, well, for obvious reasons, it'd be like a nice skating rink. So hopefully I can get this done.
Today is a hat day for sure. We woke up this morning a little bit later than normal. I've got sleep in my eye. And went to the bathroom and hey, there's some water on the floor in the bathroom. We had a nice little puddle on the bottom. We've wiped it up. It feels like there's water on the back side of the slide, but Gary found a little drip here. So it was raining pretty hard last night for a long time. So we think there might be some water up there. So we thought, why not take you along with for the Joslyn ride. This is happening way before coffee, so this should not occur, but you know. I thought I painted that separately, but I could be wrong.
Into the rubbers.
Oh, sorry. We're gonna get all nice and cozy in here.
I gotta get back here.
Oh.
Somebody painted the rubber in.
Oh. Maybe I should move. I should move my coat. In case there's a lot of water coming out. Thank you.
I need this tool. Right there. Coming into the leeks.
Oh man.
Bed on it.
It's definitely wet. It's soaking. You can see it. I don't think it looks like it's wet over here though. So that would also confirm.
It's wet right here, but it's just traveling.
Right.
Depending on our pitch of the camper.
Okay.
You got your screwdriver?
Tight quarters here in the bathroom, but we can still get two people in here. Although I am sitting on the throne. I've never taken that piece out.
Yes, I am, because it's all wet underneath. Keep raining.
Yeah. Ooh, that one's like soaked there. But the other side's dry.
The other side's dry.
So it must be these lights back here in the driver's side. Well, we were going to go to my parents today. Well, I think we might pause for a moment and try to get this resolved before we head that way. Always something. Always something. But the summary is we woke up. There was a crap ton of water right below the window in our bathroom. I still think we have an issue there, but it was probably because the seal wasn't holding. Gary thinks it's only because of the water from that light. So again, we're typically disagreeing with what's going on. I think there might be two problems. Gary thinks it's one. Hopefully it's just one. I need my coffee.
You're not doing coffee. Everything's all soaked in.
RV life. Yay. All right, what'd you find?
So down here, so I think all the water's been either running down the wall because it's wet. That thing is soaked. That corner piece is soaked.
Well, there was like a quarter-inch of water down there this morning.
It's coming down the wall. Yeah, and it would be because the lights are leaking.
Okay. So there might be 3 problems, is what you're telling me.
No,
The light,
the lights.
the electrical outlet, and or possibly could have just been the seal
I
was.
looked at the seals last night. Leak continuation. So, what I've ascertained is all of our seals. Let's see if I can do this correctly without. All of our seals seem to be sealing pretty well here, so I'm not blaming it on the seals. I just went underneath here and I discovered that it was dry. There's a little bit of water here in the corner, but that's due to the fact that it was running down here. I'm guessing, without actually getting the ladder out yet, but I'm guessing those little red lights are my problem. And of course it's misting and it's raining, but no better time than the present to get it done. So I was just up there and those lights, I just sealed those. And they're sealed all the way up. The only thing that's not is the screw heads, but I just pulled the screws out and they're completely dry. So I'm kind of baffled. I'm not seeing anywhere where this is coming in. So unless they're coming in through the roof screws, because we do have it covered, it's the only thing I could think of. Oh man, that's going to be a job to get that off because that's a one-piece unit there. I'm not sure. So here, let's see if I can get my RV sealant and my caulk gun. And it's as easy as that in these compartments. Got it pretty well organized. Just may not look like it. So I'm using, this is what Penpax and Host uses as a big stretch. I'm just going to add some caulk to those and put some on the screws. See if that's what the issue is, because I'm not real sure. It doesn't show where it's leaking. So I'm just going to add a little bit more until I got a better place to work, because this is pretty high up. There's some more. All my caulk here has all been freshened up a while ago, or probably just about 2 months ago, so I am kind of perplexed as to if it's coming in there, and now it could be coming in here if we got a buildup of water in here. And I did have a little moisture on those 2 screws there, so we'll see what happens sealing them up. My ladder just barely reaches, so rather than live precariously and living on the tightrope edge, I've opted to just let's patch it for now, and then I'll do a permanent fix later. Because the silicone that I used up there the first time is rather solid up there, and I don't want to break the light right now. Oh, that wasn't comfy. But that one always seems to not want to latch all the way. While I was up there and doing this side one, I noticed that there was some water that squished out when I squeezed it. So what I'm going to do is tackle that from the inside right now, letting it dry. I got fans going in there. One of the things that we did while we were at Penpack was replaced our plugs here because we had a bunch that were corroded. This was wet inside too as well, so I might just pull that and see what's going on with it. Not sure. I thought I sealed those up pretty well, but we'll have to see. So I'm gonna pull that out next. Fire in good health is not something I'm good at. Evidently, I shortcutted myself and didn't put any Dicor on there. So it really didn't seal well. So that's part of our issue. We still had water coming from down there trailing the wall. So we'll have to address that. But this is my doing. So evidently I just got lazy and didn't do it right. So guess I'm paying the price for it now, so I'll do it right this time. Pretty special jobs is I keep some iso alcohol. Yeah, for some reason I thought I could do it without that. I must have been in a hurry, not paying attention. So what I've done is I took some of that butyl tape and I just kind of wrapped it around that hole. Kind of give myself, as you can see, this is going to stick in the hole, so that way it kind of gets in there. But yeah, now we should be able to get that up in there. And then now we can finish, put the screws back in. I got these at Harbor Freight. Seem to work pretty well for stuff like this. So all I'm doing is just trimming this off. Just getting the butyl tape. Yeah, so you get my non-professional camera usage. Beauty part of using that big stretch is if you get your fingers just wet, it is water soluble, so I'm gonna go over screw heads as well, just because. So hopefully that'll eliminate this issue. So I'm gonna check the other ones just real quick to make sure I did my job correctly, and then go from there. We got a spot for the ladder, fits right in there. So I just kind of bungee it in. Whoa, slippery. And then I put a padlock on it so that way when we're off the truck, or when the camper's off the truck, it's kind of locked. It's not going to really do a whole hell of a lot, but at least kind of deter somebody for about a minute or two. So I guess that's, I'm going to kind of wrap this up. Well, actually I got to show you the inside when I do the inside, but for right now, hopefully this will be done and we can call this good for now. Hopefully y'all can see this. It's like gouged out a lot of water in here. I did not see anything on the outside where it would be leaking, except in maybe that top corner up there and behind the thing. But I got an abundance of water coming from what looks like the top of that pipe. So I might end up having to go back outside and see if I got water in that edging. I'm gonna go out and just cut that strip.
Yeah,
and
I would.
See if there's something askew underneath that strip.
I would.
So I think I figured it out. So these strips here are holding water. You can see the water just sitting in there. Yep. Got rust through and through. It's in that hole there. So the water's been wicking through the screws again. So we'll see what we can do to get that patched up and then patch up the corner here. But you can see the water running down this lip right here. And I'll bet you money says it's going right in the coach right there. All right.
So we are not in our typical campground.
No, we're not in a typical campground. We're in a building that a friend of ours let us into.
Yes, which we're grateful for. On the plus side, these are not leaks related to our nose cap. That has been handling things just fine. Now we're just talking about the back end. So Gary's going to show you all the fun there. So I'm going to bow out.
So yeah, fortunately a friend of ours has this huge ladder, so we can get to the top without having to take the camper out the truck. A couple spots where we think the leak's coming in, we had a huge amount of water in there. These lights right here, so I'm gonna recaulk those, and then all of these screws at the top here. What we found is that the cover that goes over the top keeps water in. There wasn't any holes in here, and for whatever reason, when we had our other water issues, I didn't think of doing these screws by filling them in and covering them. I've already started doing this and realized I didn't start videotaping, but you can see where I'm doing is I'm putting caulk into the hole, screwing the screw in, and what smoothes out, I'm just kind of smearing around the outside of the screw head. Now, the area that we think we got the biggest trouble is down here, and yesterday in the rain, I did a quick patch job, but I think what's happened is the water's getting in where these two pieces meet, the two rain rails. And then what I'm doing right now is going through and taking all the screws out. If they're rusty, I'm replacing them. I'm taking some cleaner. Oops, dropped you folks. Alright, so all I'm doing is taking some cleaner along this edge and checking the roof edge too as well. And I'm taking the cleaner in, just cleaning this roof edge just to check the caulk there. I just did this recently with GeoCell. As you can see, we're starting to get some rusty screws, so I'm going to start replacing those. I think this is probably right around here is where my problem started. You can kind of see where my screws are there. Now we've had the humidifier going on in the inside for a day or so, so it's kind of getting dried up a little bit. But all I'm trying to do is get the algae or mold or whatever it is that's growing in that, where that seal was. Now, am I going to put a new seal on? I think I will, because it looks better, but I don't have the seal on me right now. Fortunately, I was able to get into this garage real quickly, so I wasn't able to get that seal put back on. I think it just dresses it up, but the key to this is making sure these screws are sealed. And this is similar to the same problem we had on our nose cap, so I'm hoping we caught it in time before it got too out of control. I'm using GeoFlex flexible sealant. I think this does a better job of maintaining itself, more so than the water base that I've used on other areas. I'm just going to try to make sure that it doesn't leak again, but this is a nice rubbery substitute. However, it does not come clean and your fingers will get dirty, so you probably want to wear rubber gloves, and all I'm doing is filling up the holes. I cut a really small hole at the end of my thing, so it's a little harder to squeeze out. But just pumping it in. If you're putting that vinyl cover back on, you may want to clean up a little excess schmooze. So. These are the exact same screws, except they are a square bit. So. And I just put them in until they're snug, and the stuff will ooze out around them. So, all right, you can either leave it like that or smear it over. It's either way. Oh, you can see all of the water has been collecting in there for some time. Not as bad as this side over here though, but you can see where they got screws backed out. There's several of them that are like that. You see there's plenty of opportunity for water if it's built up inside that white stuff to cause problems. The other part of the problem is I never had this piece off, this white stuff off. So in here I noticed there wasn't a whole lot of caulking. So there's a good chance that it kept getting in here. And so what I did was I took a screwdriver and kind of pushed a bunch of butyl tape in there. And so I'm hoping that'll help kind of keep that sealed up in between these two pieces. And now I'm going to put some Geoflex over the top. They just bent this around the corner, and it wouldn't allow water to come out the corner. So what you end up with is this mess. So I'm guessing that's why Host has elected not to cover these up, because of that exact problem. Now, the one thing on the passenger side you got to be aware of is there's some long screws. And the reason for those long screws is they're going through all the structural members up here. The awning is attached to this rain rail here. So while I'm doing this, I've had to back this out probably a good foot in order to make this work. Well, looks like I got it all done. Did, however, hundreds of screws up there. Replaced all the rusty ones. Hopefully this helps with our water problem. We'll be pulling out of the shop here tomorrow. So we'll go back outside in the weather and we'll see what happens.
Well, we're leaving the building. Gary has all of the caulking done. Hopefully that will work well tonight. We're headed back to the campground, and hopefully it'll rain tonight so we can test to make sure everything is good, because we have a lot of the inside pieces still taken off just because we don't want to redo it again. So yeah, we're just getting ready to go. Okay. Well, something I don't think we've mentioned yet is why we are still in central Illinois in the beginning of December. We are typically gone just after Thanksgiving, but we had a bit of a problem with the truck again.
The radiator has had to spring a leak. Now, it happened sometime when they were rebuilding the front of the engine, putting the cap on and all that stuff. It happened then. We don't know when, because it wasn't leaking before until we took it to them. So they're going to replace it for free, even though it's not under warranty anymore. They're going to replace it under goodwill. Kudos to Sam Layman's and Morgan for taking care of us. The only issue is out of the billion parts that we have here, we have to pick the one that is on back order. And so we've been fighting with Graham to get that part quicker. They're telling us December 14th. Or now we hear the dealership said the 7th, which will be next week. And we got good response from both folks, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be out of here by next week. My guess is the following week, but, you know, we'll see.
Well, the other thing we could do is back up over Glad, I think.
Yeah, let's do that. It's the complication of, hey, where does Starlink work? Because we've got all these trees and stuff around. And then, are we level? And also, how much mud can we limit? Because it is... Thanks for sticking around with us, and literally this time with all the mud. We appreciate your support, since it's been really challenging to keep this channel going with so few folks stopping by. If you have any suggestions on how to spice things up, let us know in the comments. And we hope to see you next week when we hopefully have that new radiator. Until then, leave every place you visit just a little better, and we'll see you on the next trail. Holy smackaroos. Yeah.